The Attendant Console is an additional licensable feature that can be easily added to any GoTo Connect user. Once the licenses have been ordered, they will appear in the administration console under Products, Home, Products, Attendant Console. To allocate the license to a user, navigate to the People menu, select the user of choice, and simply add to that user's the Attendant Console product line and save. Once activated, this will be immediately available to the user through the soft phone. Here is my soft phone, and I can access the Attendant Console. The expanded view is broken into 4 different sections. The first section relates to the user setup. This allows the user to set their status, for example, available, away, do not disturb. It allows them to set the outgoing phone number that is being presented. At the moment, it's a Sydney number. And it also gives them an ability to choose the extension that they're working on currently. The directory section is actually expandable, and you can find all your contacts here fairly easily. It is broken up into different types of contacts, such as company, shared, favorites, as well as different functional groups, such as queues, ring groups, and dial plans, and parking spots for whenever I park calls. I can actually filter out which elements of the contacts list I want to view. In the center, we have the current calls area. The current calls will give me all the calls that are being presented to a reception, and then I can handle them either in that current calls area or in the soft phone. So let's put a call through and see what happens. As a call arrives, it appears under the My Calls area, and I can answer that call directly here or in the soft phone. So I've answered that call. And now if I wish to transfer it to a contact, I can look for that contact, for example, Jake Richer, and I simply transfer that to one of those available Jakes. Now that I've transferred that call, I can see that it's actually in the process of being handled by Jake. When Jake answers that call, I can see that that call has been connected. If that call has been going to, for example, Jake's voicemail or some other location that it's not ideal, what I could do is I could actually intercept that call. So I could intercept that call back with Sam, or Jake for that matter. So I've got that call back. If for example, I wish to park that call, I can select the position where that call is going to be parked. Once a call is parked, other people in the business can actually see that there is a call parked. If, for example, I wanted to notify Jake that the call is parked, I could select Jake and send Jake maybe a quick message. So I could send him a message. But the call is parked, and Jake, for example, can go out there and pick that call up. And I'm going to do that. So I can see that that call is now accessed by Jake. So I parked it, Jake has picked it up. Let me put another call through to this Attendant Console, so you can see where multiple calls are coming in. So I've got one other call and I've got my call. So in this instance, I've got a call that's ringing at the moment. And you can see that it's actually grouped it under that area. So if I wanted just to look at the ringing calls, then I can view that. If I place that call on hold, then it will be categorized into the on hold position. So this all calls is a summary of all the different calls, but I can actually filter based upon the different conditions the calls are in. If now I wish to transfer that call, not to a contact, but maybe to a queue or a ring group, or better still, if I transfer it to a dial plan, then I can actually see that that call being presented and passed through the different states within that system. So I've got a dial plan named Dobek. I've got a couple. If I take that call and I transfer it to one of those, what you're going to see is that this call here is now being handled by the dial plan. So currently it's gone into the auto attendant. I'm going to press 1 in that auto attendant for it to go into an orders queue. And it's actually being presented to an orders queue. And at the moment, it's actually offering the call to be presented to a callback request. What I have done in the meantime, I've actually hung up on the other call from Jake, and I've made myself available, and now it's actually ringing towards a Jake Breacher. So I have seen the journey of that particular call go through the dial plan where it went to an auto attendant with different options. Press 1 for sales. The person selected 1, went into the orders queue. Jake was busy at that time, so it was queued in the orders queue and was probably offered a callback. But then during that time, I actually made myself available as Jake, and that call was routed to me. As an attendant, I've also got some operational functions. Many customers ask us what happens if I wanted to change the way drag and drop works. Well, you can do select the transfer mode. So here, for example, I could say that it's going to be a direct transfer or a warm transfer or sent to voicemail. So probably the warm transfer would be available. For my demo purposes, I just want to fire and forget. But typically in a normal scenario, you might want to set it up as a warm transfer. The other thing that's useful is to actually keep the window on top. So if you've got multiple screens, the attendant can have that application constantly residing on top. So if I could, bring this in, it's always in the background of the attendant console. And that concludes the demonstration. Thank you.